the sphere of wrongness. Whether they are different schools, original money, Vandala. Are you there? You know, you are telling me where did we go wrong. And I'm telling you, we went wrong when the white man divided us and took over our nation states and destroyed them. That's where we went wrong, basically.
Who do you blame for that? Who do you blame for that?
Who do I blame for that?
Yes.
I may not blame a particular individual. Of course, these guys were a little technologically advanced. But maybe we should not have given up. For instance, Europe was technologically advanced than China.
But there's an argument that we were probably more civilized at a certain date before those guys.
True. Even when you look at the Quran of civilization, it is Africa. Even when Jesus ran into trouble, he ran to what? To Africa. It was the land of human rights, where Herod was not reigning. You get me? So, when it comes to where did we go wrong, whom do you blame? I would not blame African people, but I will simply tell them, don't lose hope. Fight on. Become prisoners of hope, and a pregnant hope at that. Don't do what? Don't give up. The battle is not lost. I can fight you, Lubogo, but I will never be Lubogo. Lubogo is what? Lubogo. Europeans can fight us. They will never be African. We are the African. So, where can we beat Europe? Where can we beat America? It is in finding the potential of being African in Africa on African resources.
Okay, you made a strong point where you say that we are probably stooges or captives of certain individuals. And I asked you that question, who do you blame?
Hon Basakana. No, I'm saying, yes. I'm saying, we would not want to blame anybody now. I am saying it looks a lost battle.
Okay.
Because you know, when you lose 2 meals in town, you may want to sell your own. You said the opportunity is here. Your wife might say, let's go back to the what? To the village. So there are those weak minds who say, the white man might finish us. Let's listen to him.
Okay.
Let's do what he does. But I'm telling those people who are not, I will not blame them, but I will call them weak. I will call them what?
Weak.
You know, our resilience differs.
Yes.
Like there are communities which had suffered rinderpest, so many other diseases. When the white man came, they said, our God has deserted us.
Okay. But
there are those who fought on like the cavalry.
You a cadre of a system.
Use another one.
Okay.
The word cadre is now derogatory. Use another one. Yeah.
You are a brainchild or perhaps a protege of a system that assumed at a certain time would make things right for this country. Yes? But your argument is saying
no, don't begin it in the middle. I am not an offshoot of a system which thought would make things right in this country. I'm an offshoot of the cavalry guys, the anti-colonial elements who said no.
From the word of God.
Muzungu, you have a point, but you also have what?
A point.
We have a point.
Okay.
I joined the NRA not as an empty brain.
Okay.
I joined the NRA thinking there would be room to refine, improve, enrich the struggle to be African. Okay. The struggle to know that development is not a struggle to be like somebody else. Okay. That development is a sense of self-renewal from within. Okay. The Lubogo of 3 years is the Lubogo of today. Okay. But there has been a lot of self-renewal from within. You are not a different one, a different Lubogo. Okay. So that we don't go into these theories of thinking you are either West or East. You get my point. But like I will tell you, maybe the NRA at one time thought they would fight, but they were weak characters. They give up along the way. Along the way.
So you think, because you see, when I asked you that hypothetical question of the Muslim of 86 vis-a-vis the Muslim of 2025, you said this in your opinion.
And also let me say this, Lubogo. You asked me a question that what do you think is now the philosophy of the current political system or order, dispensation? Yes. Let me tell you. I will borrow from the Jews in the Galatians. it is chapter 5, 15 to 21, around there. They speak about the struggle between the body and the spirit.
Yes.
You see, you need a lot of discipline to live in the spirit.
Absolutely.
You may need a lot of training. You may need a lot of emulation. You will need a lot of prayer. You know? You need a lot of praise and worship to keep in the what? In the spirit. What do you need to do to be in the flesh?
The opposite.
Nothing. You are already there.
Yeah.
Free fall.
Right.
So if you want the political philosophy of the current dispensation, it's free fall.
Does that infer or increase on your sense of frustration? Politically, philosophically?
Yeah, you see, if you're a man worth your sorrow, you will be frustrated. But you sit back and say, is it all over? I think it is not all what? Over. What gives me energy, solace, and courage is that no matter what it takes, the white man also, like this helping him, is fighting a futile battle.
Okay.
Europe will never become
Africa.
Europeans will never be
African.
Africans. And they will never own what? Africa. You get my point? They will struggle and reach a point and say this is not what? Tenable. But we must catalyze circumstances to make them reach that level fast.
First of all, I would like to argue in light of the new colonialism in terms of the Chinese influence, because of the China becoming a superpower.
Yeah.
But also in light of globalization, the so-called one world order system.
Yeah.
Don't you think that that is now become defeatist or
now?
Yes.
Who's one world order? Like I will tell you.
Yes.
The European lied to us that there is only one knowledge, and it is the European what? Knowledge. And that knowledge is universal. So when he collects us together to become very educated, very knowledgeable, he says we are becoming knowledgeable in that one what? Knowledge of the European what? Man. But let me tell you, there are many knowledges. Every ecosystem with its eco-culture generates a different eco-knowledge.
Right.
You get my point?
Yes.
So that even when we meet at a place where people go, what I would call a banguliro, to sharpen each other, it would be a place where many knowledges come to refine themselves in relation to benefit of the environment.
Right.
I know one knowledge can benefit another one, another knowledge.
Right.
So, like we would be talking of a multiversity called the Makerere, a place of learning with many knowledges, a confluence of not a university. You get my point? So, I don't lose hope. I don't lose hope because I know the Chinese may come. But you see, human nature, like I tell you, is natural opportunistic. It's natural and brutish. If you don't put your house or case in order, you will be trampled.
Absolutely.
But people will momentarily trample you for momentary gains. Europe has devoured us. We are being raped in a serial manner. The European has raped Africa until he has gone into a bit of slumber.
Would you want
the Chinese comes in.
Let me
okay? But they will never be Africa.
Okay, let me take you that. I see your passion and your zeal for Africanism, if I may use that kind of African Renaissance.
No. Okay, call it African Renaissance, but the zeal that God made me
an African,
myself, an African, that I can never be proud